Good morning, students. In continuation of our regular syllabus, we will see one more important topic: acidic nature of one alkynes. This is the last topic in alkynes topic. After that, we'll move into the one more topic: acidic nature of one alkyne. What is the meaning of one alkyne? Okay, triple bond is present at the first carbon atom in a alkyne. Okay, for example, CH triple bond CH. This is estolene. Okay, this is the best example for one alkyne. Okay, one propyne. This is also one alkyne. One butane. This is also the best example for the one alkyne. Is a estolene or ethane. Okay, this is one propyne. Okay, this is one butane. All these one alkynes have the acidic nature. Okay, what is the meaning of acidic nature? Okay, the molecule which releases the or which donate the H plus ion. The molecule which donate the H plus ion we called as acid. Okay, these all one alkynes donate the one H plus ion which is present at the first carbon atom. This one. So these one alkynes have acidic nature. Okay, we'll see how these will donate. See, CH triple bond CH. It donates one H plus ion. Okay, one H plus ion. What happens here? Here we'll get negative. Here we'll get this ion. This ion is called as acetalide. By the donating of one H plus ion, acetylene, okay, it forms acetalide along with the H plus ion. Due to the donation of this H plus ion, it is considered as an acid. Like this, one propyne also forms one propanide, one butane also forms one butanide along with the all carbon with negative charged molecules will form. Okay, this is the acidic nature. What is the reason for acidic nature of this triple bonded carbon? Why this carbon releases H plus ion? Alkanes not, but alkynes, exclusively one alkynes. Okay, one alkynes shows this property. Over here, carbon triple bond carbon with hydrogen atom. This is the system. Okay, when we'll see the carbon-carbon bond length is 1.54 angstroms, carbon double bond carbon single bond carbon 1.54 angstroms, double bond carbon 1.33 angstroms, triple bond carbon 1.20 angstroms. These are the bond lengths in carbon-carbon molecules. By increasing the number of bonds between two carbon atoms, bond length decreases. Okay, by decreasing the bond length, the attraction forces between two carbon atoms, this carbon and this carbon atom, increases. By increasing the attraction forces between two carbon atom, electronegativity of this carbon atom and this carbon atom increases. By increasing the electronegativity of sp hybridized carbon, this hydrogen or these electrons, carbon hydrogen electrons, transferred towards carbon. Then this hydrogen release in the form of H plus ion. So it acts as a acid. Okay, what is the reason? By increasing the number of bonds between two carbon atoms, bond length decreases. By decreasing the bond length, the attraction forces between two carbon atom increases. By increasing the attraction forces between two carbon atom, okay, sp hybridized carbon electronegativity increases. By increasing the electronegativity of an atom, okay, carbon hydrogen electrons transferred towards okay, here high electronegative atom carbon. Then hydrogen releases in the form of H plus ion. So it acts as an acid. Okay, any evidence is there? We'll see the evidence. One of the important property of an acid is when an acid reacts with the metal, it releases hydrogen gas. When an acid reacts with the metal, it releases it liberates the hydrogen gas. Okay, see, just I am taking one of the known metal is sodium. Okay, one of the known acid is hydrochloric acid. When sodium reacts with acid, what happens? It forms sodium chloride and releases half mole hydrogen gas. This is one of the important fundamental property of an acid. If acetylene is acid, I said acid. We'll see evidence for this acetylene. Okay, when acetylene reacts with sodium metal, what happens? One of the hydrogen replaced and forms CNA, and along with the half mole hydrogen, it liberates hydrogen gas. And form a salt. This is called sodium acetylide. See, here salt formed, here salt formed. Here hydrogen gas was released, here also hydrogen gas was released. So acetylene is called acid or is called as an acid, or one propane, one butane, one pentane, all shows this property. Okay, some more evidences are there. It reacts with the Tollens reagent. It also reacts with the Fehling's reagent and form white color precipitate and form red color precipitate. This is also one of the acidic property of acetylene. In continuation, we'll see those two reactions also. This is the important question. So many times asked. Explain the acidic nature of one alkynes. Why one alkynes exhibits acidic nature? Okay, see here. What is the Fehling's reagent? What is the Tollens reagent? Okay, reaction with one alkyne or acetylene reaction with first Tollens reagent. Reaction with Tollens reagent. What is the Tollens reagent? Okay, see here. When silver nitrate AgNO3 is called silver nitrate, reacts with sodium hydroxide, forms silver hydroxide precipitate. What is the meaning of precipitate? Okay, water insoluble product is called as precipitate. Okay, this is ash colored precipitate. Okay, along with this NaNO3 was formed. This precipitate completely dissolved in ammonia. this precipitate completely dissolved in ammonia and forms ammonical silver nitrate solution. Ammonical silver nitrate solution. Ammonical silver nitrate solution. Simply we write AgNH3, it entails here plus. This we called as ammonical silver nitrate. Here NO3 minus is as usual. Ammonical silver nitrate solution. The ammonical silver nitrate solution we called as Tollens reagent. When ammonical silver nitrate solution CH triple bond CH one alkyne or one acetylene reacts with Tollens reagent. What is the meaning of Tollens reagent? Ammonical silver nitrate. That means it contains Ag. This silver is a metal. This hydrogen replaced with the two silver metal atoms. Hydrogen replaced with the two silver metal atoms and forms this molecule by the liberation of hydrogen gas. This we called as disilver acetylide. Disilver acetylide. This is white color precipitate. Disilver acetylide. This is a white color precipitate. What it indicates? Acidic nature of the one alkynes. Along with the acetylene or one alkynes directly reacts with the Fehling's reagent. What is the meaning of Fehling's reagent? Fehling's reagent. This indicates this is the evidence for the Tollens reagent, reaction with the Tollens reagent. It is one of the good evidence for the acidic nature of one alkynes. Next, reaction with Fehling's reagent. Reaction with Fehling's reagent. Reaction with Fehling's reagent. What is the meaning of Fehling's reagent? We have two types of reagents. One is Fehling's reagent A, Fehling reagent B. Fehling reagent B, Fehling reagent A. What is the Fehling reagent A? Cupric sulfate along with the concentrate sulfuric acid. Cupric sulfate along with the concentrate sulfuric acid is called as Fehling reagent A. And here Rochelli salt. Rochelli salt plus sodium hydroxide we called as Fehling reagent B. What is the Rochelli salt? Sodium, potassium, tartarate. This acid is present in tamarind. This acid, tartaric acid, is present in a tamarind. I will write the structure of sodium, potassium, tartarate. Here Na, here CHOH, CHOH, COOK. This is the structure of sodium, potassium, tartarate. This we called as Rochelli salt. It contains cupric ion or it contains copper salt. This copper salt containing Fehling's reagent reacts with one alkynes, cupric sulfate, or what is the meaning of this one? Fehling's solution or Fehling's reagent. What happened? This Cu metal reacts with hydrogen and will get dicupric C triple bond Cu. Will get copper acetylide, dicopper acetylide. This dicopper acetylide, it is a red color precipitate. Formation of dicopper acetylide and disilver acetylide and sodium acetylide by the liberation of the hydrogen gas. Here also hydrogen gas was released. This indicates acidic nature of one alkynes. Okay, this is the one more topic, continuation of our regular topics. Okay, that means hydrocarbons finished. Next we have one more important topic in this chapter, aromatic hydrocarbons. Aromatic hydrocarbons. Already we know about the aromatic. Aroma means, what is the meaning of aroma? Aroma means pleasant odor. The pleasant odor molecules we considered as aromatic. Pleasant odor molecules we considered as aromatic. Aromatic hydrocarbons. Aromatic hydrocarbons. These aromatic hydrocarbons, okay, aromatic hydrocarbons, we have two important aromatic hydrocarbons. One is benzenoid aromatic compounds. Okay, second one, non-benzenoid aromatic compounds. Benzenoid aromatic compounds and non-benzenoid aromatic compound. What it means? Benzenoid aromatic compound, that means it has benzene structure. Non-benzenoid aromatic compound, okay, it has no benzene structure. Again, benzenoid aromatic compounds classified into two types. Okay, benzenoid aromatic compounds classified into two types. One is, okay, one of the best example for this one is benzene. Okay, after that, if we have two rings, two benzene rings, those molecules we call as, okay, if two benzene rings are present, those molecules we call as polynuclear hydrocarbons. One benzene is there, we called only benzene. If two benzenes are there, we called as polynuclear hydrocarbons. Those are also, okay, benzenoid aromatic compounds. Example, okay, these are two types. One is isolated polynuclear hydrocarbons. What is the polynuclear hydrocarbons? We have two benzene rings. We have two benzene rings. If any organic molecule or aromatic molecule contain two benzene rings, we call as polynuclear. Two or more than two benzene rings, we call as polynuclear hydrocarbons. Isolated polynuclear hydrocarbons. Okay, fused polynuclear hydrocarbons. Isolated means two benzenes are separated with one sigma bond. This one separated with one sigma bond. This is we called biphenyl. This is called isolated benzenoid aromatic compound. Okay, here fused means, okay, one is condensed with the, this is one and this is one. This is we called naphthalene. See, it connected with the two carbon atoms. Two carbon atoms. Here it has two same carbon, common atom. Okay, it doesn't has common carbon atom, but it has common carbon atom. Naphthalene. Okay, here one more is there. Okay, this is considered as a anthracene. This is we called anthracene. Anthracene, naphthalene. These are the best example for the benzenoid aromatic hydrocarbons. Okay, non-benzenoid aromatic hydrocarbons. Here, this classified into two types. Okay, carbocyclic non-benzenoid hydrocarbons. Okay, heterocyclic non-benzenoid. Carbocyclic non-benzenide. Example for this. Okay, this is the one molecule. Here I am writing. I will explain structure of. I will explain in continuation this molecule. This is the one molecule. Okay, this is we called cyclopropynyl cation. Cyclopropynyl cation. Cyclopropynyl cation. This is the non-benzenide carbocyclic hydrocarbon. Okay, here I am writing one more. Here negative charge. 5 carbon atoms are present. 2 double bonds are present with negative charge. Cyclopenta diene anion. Okay, this is also one of the best example for the carbocyclic hydrocarbon. It is also aromatic compound. Okay, in continuation I will explain all this in aromaticity, in chemistry of aromaticity. Heterocyclic molecule, heterocyclic non-benzenide, definitely. Okay, here test. Okay, in continuation. Okay, here oxygen. This is we called furan. This we called thiophene. Thiophene. Here I am writing one more. Okay, here we called as pyrrole. This we called as pyrrole. These are the classification of aromatic hydrocarbons. Classification of aromatic hydrocarbons. In continuation, we'll see aromaticity, how we prepare the benzene and properties of benzene. Thank you.